Welcome back to the crypto world. My name is Josh, and right now Ethereum is actually seeing a bullish divergence, just like what we're seeing in the Bitcoin chart. So in just a moment, I'll be explaining exactly what this means for Ethereum. I'll also be giving you guys my next Ethereum price targets, because right now we have seen a perfect bounce along the 50-day EMA. But that is not all. Later in the video, I will be covering this brand new price pattern that is forming on the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, which reveals Ethereum's next price targets versus Bitcoin. And in this video, I will provide you a quick Cardano update, because we are seeing a nice little breakout here to the upside out of this W pattern that we were discussing yesterday here on the channel. All that and more in this video, so make sure you're watching all the way to the end so that you're not missing out on any of this valuable information. And just before I jump into it, make sure to drop a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these future videos. And also right now, the markets are sitting in fear, which means that we're right now in an amazing opportunity. So there's never been a better time to share these videos around with your friends, especially if you're enjoying the videos anyway. But with all of that out of the way, let's get straight to what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Ethereum to US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame. And as you can see here, Ethereum has formed this second low that I was letting you guys know about yesterday. Now, obviously, I didn't let you guys know exactly where we would form the low, but on my Twitter, I actually gave you guys an update when Ethereum was all the way up here, saying that basically Ethereum is getting ready to form its next low, and this next low will very likely form over the next 1 to 2 days. And once again, that has played out here, and of course we have now used the 50-day EMA as support once again. The 50-day exponential moving average, which is this yellow line just here, that is currently coming in at around 3,150, and once again, that's pretty much exactly where we bottomed out just here. So if the price is continuing to hold those levels, honestly, that is a good sign. We are still looking good here if we hold these levels of support. And that is not the only good sign revealing itself in the Ethereum chart right now, at least in the short term, because as you can see here, we are also seeing a small bullish divergence here on the 4-hour chart. We saw a low and a lower low in the price of Ethereum, but in the RSI, we saw a low and a higher low. So once again, that is a bullish divergence. And basically what it means for the beginners out there is essentially we're going to see reduced selling pressure, and either at the very least sideways price action, but if not, some slight price action to the upside again. And if we do see some more price action to the upside, then that also opens up a potential W pattern that is currently forming on the Ethereum chart. Now, these W patterns are not confirmed until we actually come back up to the neckline and break above the neckline with confirmation. And for the brand new viewers on the channel that don't know what I mean by confirmation, I normally pay attention to a spike in volume as we're breaking that significant level, or if we don't see that, we definitely need to see a retest of that level if we don't get that initial spike in volume. Also, a candle close above that level, such as a 4-hourly candle close, for example, is the minimum time frame that I will be paying attention to for a candle close to act as confirmation. That can also act as confirmation of a break of a significant level. But obviously, out of those 3 confirmation methods, the more confirmation that we see, the better. Now, obviously, the Ethereum price right now is not guaranteed to actually break above that level, but if we do come back up and break above this neckline, which by the way, this level just here that we need to break above is coming in at around 3,550 US dollars per Ethereum, and the technical price target for Ethereum, if we break out to the upside here, is coming in at just above 3.9k, which is pretty much exactly where we found all of this previous resistance here. So if the price does get above that $3,500 resistance level just there and head up towards 3.9k, then from the point of the break to that price target, that is around a 10% gain to the upside. So if you're using a 10x leverage, for example, that is a 100% gain, doubling your money. Now, obviously, I do not recommend leverage trading for the complete beginners out there. Leverage trading should only be left for those of you that have more experience in these markets, because even though you can make a lot of money leverage trading, it does come with more risk as well. So you have to know about the risks before you get involved. But if you feel like you want to give trading a go, I actually have a full trading tutorial video that shows exactly how I open and close positions and how I actually trade. And that video is simply a video here on my YouTube channel, and I'll link it in the description down below. And also in the description down below, in fact, the first link in the description will take you to the actual platform that I use to trade crypto. Now, just before we jump into Ethereum versus Bitcoin here, I'll just quickly mention that the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index right now has plunged further into fear, and I actually elaborated on this much more in my Bitcoin update video that I just posted on the channel a couple hours ago. So to completely summarize, basically, the further we go into fear, the more bullish that is and the bigger our buying opportunity is. So after an entire month of seeing greed and towards the end of it seeing extreme greed just before that crash a few days ago, it's actually really refreshing seeing some red here and some fear in the Bitcoin fear and greed index, because once again, anytime I see fear, I simply see buying opportunity. And now jumping into Ethereum versus Bitcoin here on the 4-hour time frame. For the beginners out there that don't already know this, Ethereum versus Bitcoin is actually an important chart to pay attention to as well, not just the US dollar chart, because this chart actually shows whether or not Ethereum is outperforming or underperforming against Bitcoin. And obviously over the last 1 week approximately, Ethereum has technically speaking been underperforming against Bitcoin, because this chart once again shows Ethereum valued against Bitcoin. And so over the last 1 week, Ethereum has been losing value against Bitcoin, which means Bitcoin is outperforming Ethereum. And if you were on the channel all the way back here close to a week ago, I let you guys know publicly on the channel and also as a real-time update on my Twitter that I actually moved some of my Ethereum holdings, around 5 to 10% of my Ethereum, into Bitcoin right here once again. So for any of you that did actually follow me on that move, congratulations, because so far you've actually multiplied your Ethereum if you actually switch that back, for example. And we could be potentially about to do that, because as you can see here, this type of pattern is a falling wedge pattern, and technically speaking, that is a bullish pattern. So what I mean by a bullish pattern for the beginners out there is basically it's more likely to break out to the upside than it is to break to the downside. It's still not impossible for it to break to the downside. It's just not as likely to break to the downside as it is to break to the upside once again. And just before we get into the price targets, we need to look at the important levels of this pattern to pay attention to. For example, the support right now is currently coming in at around 0.071 Bitcoin per Ethereum, and the resistance right now is currently coming in at around 0.074 Bitcoin per Ethereum. So if we break above resistance with confirmation, that is how you know that we're breaking to the upside. And then we have our upside target that we're going to be paying attention to. But if we break the support just here, then we'll be looking at some lower support levels to pay attention to. Now, first of all, just to get the bearish scenario out of the way, if we break the supports just here, which technically speaking is less likely due to the nature of this pattern, then we do have the 50-day EMA coming in as support just below this pattern just here. And right now, the 50-day EMA on this chart is currently coming in at just above 0.069 Bitcoin per Ethereum. And as you can see here previously, the 50-day EMA has provided huge support for Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So if we do break to the downside here, that 50-day EMA is the first major level of support that I would be targeting. Now, if we break the resistance, the technical price target for a falling wedge pattern is simply the top of the falling wedge, and that right now is currently coming in at around 0.079 Bitcoin per Ethereum. So from the point of the break just here, if we do break this resistance, that is a potential move of nearly 7% to the upside for Ethereum versus Bitcoin once again. So this means that Ethereum would be outperforming Bitcoin by 7%. So if Bitcoin just stays at the same price, that would mean that Ethereum would have a 7% gain against the US dollar. If Bitcoin dropped by 7%, then a move like this on this chart would mean Ethereum would stay stable against the US dollar while Bitcoin would be dropping, for example. And finally, if Bitcoin is gaining against the US dollar while Ethereum is gaining against Bitcoin, that means that Ethereum is seeing even bigger gains against the US dollar. So that's exactly what this chart actually means for the beginners out there. And of course, we can use this Ethereum versus Bitcoin charts to move money between Bitcoin and Ethereum at certain times in the market. For example, how I moved Ethereum into Bitcoin right up here. If we do see this break to the upside here, then I would potentially move some of that Bitcoin that I accumulated at these higher levels back into Ethereum at these lower levels just here for this next move to the upside. So once again, that decision that I made around a week ago actually multiplied my Ethereum. And you'll see those updates in real time over on my Twitter. I post all of these extra updates throughout the day over on my Twitter, which obviously is completely for free. And all you need to do is simply just click the link to my Twitter in the description down below, and that will take you to this page just here where you can go ahead and follow me for all of these extra updates once again. And as you can see here, I did actually update you guys on my Twitter about Cardano breaking to the upside here out of this W pattern that I was actually discussing in my video yesterday on the channel. Taking just a quick look at the Cardano to US dollar charts, this is on the 4-hour time frame. As you can see, the RSI for Cardano is looking pretty good here in the short term, so just on the 4-hour time frame once again. And also, as I was discussing yesterday, we were potentially forming this W pattern, and since yesterday's update video, obviously we saw that bounce along the 50-day EMA, and we've actually completed the W pattern and broken to the upside here, which obviously is a bullish sign for Cardano in the short term. Now, at the moment, if you're bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from this high up here at around $3.10 down to this wick low at the bottom of that crash, we're currently running into resistance at the golden pocket at the time of filming this video. So that's pretty much around that $2.70 level, give or take either side, obviously. But yeah, once again, roughly around $2.70, we are finding a little bit of resistance there. But if we can get past that little resistance just there in the short term, then the technical price target for Cardano out of this W pattern is currently coming in at pretty much exactly $3 for Cardano. Once again, I let you guys know about that exact price target here on the channel yesterday before we actually broke out to the upside here. Now, it's totally possible that we could continue to find resistance along that golden pocket here and come back down for a retest. And if that's the case, it's really important that we hold this retest. So this level that we need to hold, by the way, is currently coming in at around $2.60 approximately. If we can hold above that level and especially see a bounce, then that actually acts as extra confirmation to set us up for this price target towards $3. But if we actually come back down and start falling back below $2.60 with confirmation, then that is actually a bearish sign here in the short term. And in that case, I would be looking back towards the 50-day EMA, which is right now currently coming in at around $2.27. And also, you can't forget that just tomorrow, we actually have smart contracts getting implemented into Cardano. So hopefully everything goes well. Obviously, we don't know for sure, but if all things go well, that is an extremely bullish upgrade that Cardano is getting just tomorrow once again. So this could be potentially sparking this bullish movement that we're seeing right now. Now, you also have to consider that sometimes these sort of events can be buy the rumor, sell the news events. And obviously that's pretty self-explanatory. The same actually happens for the El Salvador news just a few days ago. Obviously, for quite a while leading up to El Salvador making Bitcoin legal tender, we were seeing a lot of bullish price action, which is buy the rumor. And then as soon as we got the news, as soon as we got the day that Bitcoin was officially made legal tender in El Salvador, that is when we saw a crash in the Bitcoin price because everyone just began selling after we had the event occur. So keep that in mind as well. That is always a possibility, but in the longer term, this is a very bullish thing for Cardano, just like how in the longer term, Bitcoin legal tender in El Salvador is a very bullish thing for Bitcoin in the long term. Now, this video was more of a quick update video because obviously I don't want to be repeating the same information over and over in every single video for the subscribers out there listening to the same thing. So that's why I always suggest for the brand new viewers that are only just finding the channel now, after this video, definitely go back on the channel and take a look at some of my recent update videos that I posted over the last 1 to 2 days. Because once again, in almost every single video, I try to talk about brand new price targets, brand new patterns, and also entirely new fractals and concepts for trading cryptocurrencies. So that's why it's really important to subscribe to this channel with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these future updates. And of course, drop a like on the video down below if you found this video useful. And as always, I really do appreciate all of your support on the channel at the moment. I can't thank you guys enough. But anyway, that's just about everything I have to say for this video. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.